You're feeling stuck after applying for several roles on different job search platforms. Well, don't worry because you are not alone. A lot of people have learned the DevOps skills and they are still trying to find their way throughout the DevOps job search process. In this video, I'll be giving you some tips to keep you motivated and how to stay positive in your job search process. Because you're not getting the job doesn't mean you're not qualified to get the job so far. It just means you need some little bit of effort to put in before you can land your dream job. So let's get into this video together to discover some of those tips that can keep you productive and motivated and staying focused as long as your DevOps job search is concerned. Because you've gotten several rejections, because you feel stuck, doesn't mean you should relent your efforts. Now, here are some reasons why I believe you should stay motivated in your job search as far as DevOps or cloud computing roles are concerned. Now, the very first thing I want to highlight is keep applying. As long as you're in different job search platforms, be it LinkedIn, be it Glassdoor, Dice, keep on applying. The fact that you're getting rejected doesn't mean you lack the experience or doesn't mean you don't fit a particular role. You still have many opportunities ahead of you. Don't relent your efforts for application. Apply for as many of the roles as possible, go in for as many technical interviews as possible, and keep the flame. Rejection again isn't enough motivation for you to give up. So don't give up your application process. Keep on applying. Go on LinkedIn. No matter how many people you find applying for a particular job, keep your application going. The second thing which I want to highlight is keep on refining your resume. One of the mistakes which people make is they use one resume to apply for many roles. So different opportunities come up and you use that same resume to apply for as many roles as possible. If you want to get innovative in your job search, I recommend you taking every job to modify your resume to meet the job requirements per job. Because you've been using the same resume over and over again and you get maybe bad results. Take some time now as you start applying for new roles. Take each job and modify your resume to meet the requirements of that job. Don't use the same resume over and over again for the same job. Keep refining your resume to meet new requirements or to meet new job postings. As you're applying for new jobs that are being posted, keep on refining your resume to meet the job requirements per given job. The third thing which I want to highlight is you reaching out to potential recruiters, and basically it's all about you networking. You might have probably gone through a DevOps skill acquisition program and some people in the same program already gotten jobs. Keep networking with people who are already in the industry. Keep networking with recruiters because the opportunities will definitely come maybe from your networks or from your personal efforts. So in as much as you're applying for as many roles as you can and you're modifying your resumes, keep on networking with people who are in the industry space. Go on LinkedIn, just search recruiters around you, maybe around a particular geographical location. Check out recruiters maybe out of your country, out of your continent, and then keep networking with these recruiters. When you reach out to them, in every conversation, try to portray your skill sets which you have. And who knows, your networking with some of these recruiters can actually land you your dream job. Now, the fourth thing which I want to highlight is you should practice interviews. Taking interviews is a skill which a lot of people underestimate. No matter the experience which you have in a particular technology, for example, you might have experience in Jenkins, you might have experience with Kubernetes, you might have experience with Terraform, with Amazon Web Service Cloud, or with Microsoft Azure Cloud, and a lot of other services. If you do not know how to present these skills during an interview, you will definitely not know how to make yourself marketable. Always recommend you taking a lot of practice interviews, and I've left the link to my one-on-one mentorship call where you can discuss and I can give you more tips on how to be productive or how to prepare very well for your interviews. You can use the link in my channel description to book a one-on-one mentorship. Remember, taking interviews is a much required skill as the skills which you already have. Keep applying for the roles, modifying your resume as much as possible to meet new job descriptions, keep on your networking, and most especially take as many DevOps practice interviews as possible because that will give you the confidence every time before every interview which you have relating to your job. Now, the fifth thing which I want to highlight is be patient. The job search process is quite a tedious process and a lot of things are required. In as much as you really badly need a job, there is the need for patience in job application. Mind you, most cloud computing roles or most DevOps roles require a lot of expertise, and before companies want to make the decision on who they should hire, they go through interviewing a whole lot of people. So if you've applied for a role and the company has promised to reach back to you, do not relent your efforts on getting yourselves more trained or in doing more projects or doing a lot more hands-on to get yourself more acquainted. For some people, it's easy. You apply for your first role and you go through your interviews and you get the job. But for others, you need to exercise patience. The sixth thing which I recommend you doing is consider taking freelance roles. There are a lot of freelance roles in freelance platforms like Upwork, like Fiverr, like Freelancer, which you can actually go there and get some gigs. A lot of people want to just go in there and get hired by companies who will pay them 6 figures, but they're underestimating the potentials or the abilities or the skill sets which they can benefit from doing freelance roles. So I recommend you going into some of these freelance sites, getting some of the freelance gigs, sharpening your skills doing these freelance gigs, get exposure to this environment, because another thing when you get the job will be your ability to keep the job, and you keeping the job comes with a lot of experience which you can build working on projects. So in as much as you're preparing for your six-figure jobs, you can utilize freelance platforms to get yourself ready, to get yourself upskilled for the right job. Don't limit yourself to maybe a company hiring you to pay you $120,000 annually. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button right away and get subscribed to the channel, because every time there's a new video that can help you in your cloud computing on your DevOps journey. And also there's a link to my DevOps community in the channel description, which you can use to join the community and have access to a lot more of other resources. I know you've probably applied for so many roles and you're kind of discouraged, and in the process of applying for these roles, you lose track of the key skills that you always be interviewed for. I recommend you in this next point which I'm raising to keep learning DevOps. In as much as you have experience with the technologies, you need to keep learning DevOps. And how do you keep learning DevOps? There are a lot of run books available on Amazon Web Service documentation. There are a lot of run books available on Stack Overflow, on Medium, several other sites which you can use to constantly do projects on automation, projects on microservices, projects on Kubernetes, projects on Terraform, projects on CloudFormation, and a lot more. Keep learning, because DevOps is an ever-evolving field. For example, you might have your experience on continuous integration and continuous deployment with Jenkins, and now you're currently applying for jobs. While applying for jobs, you can start learning other continuous integration and continuous deployment technologies like GitLab, like Bitbucket, like GitHub Actions. Perhaps you've had experience setting up your Kubernetes cluster on Amazon Web Service. Try doing the same thing on Microsoft Azure. You may have built your experience working on Amazon Web Service and you're currently interviewing. In the process of you interviewing for as many roles as possible, consider learning another cloud platform. You can start learning Microsoft Azure, or you can start learning Google Cloud, and that way it gives you the opportunity to have a lot more skill sets necessary for you to break your interview. So keep on learning DevOps, because DevOps is an ever-evolving field. If you have the experience which you just have now and you start interviewing and you cannot upskill yourself, you find out that you keep saying the same thing during the interviews and you definitely not get callbacks from recruiters. So keep on learning DevOps, keep on learning new technologies, keeping yourself alive or keeping yourself fresh in the DevOps concept to give you a positive push when taking interviews or when having technical discussions. Also, you want to be able to describe your experience with these technologies detailedly. That is why we have a video for key services on Amazon Web Service platform, which you can always use to explain your experience. We did a video on how you can talk about your experience with security on AWS Cloud, your experience with storage, your experience with databases, your experience with continuous integration, continuous deployment. So keep on watching some of these videos, learning some of these skill sets, and position yourself rightly with the right skill set necessary for you to nail your interviews. Lastly, keep your passion alive. Can you just take some time to figure out why you started your journey in DevOps or cloud computing? Well, maybe some people started their journey because they wanted six figures, or perhaps because they had IT is great and they want to get themselves into the IT space. But I want you to reflect on that same reason why you started your DevOps journey. That will be enough reasons for you to keep yourself alive in the space. Don't give up your experience, or don't give up applying, or don't give up working on DevOps projects, because the moment you start having some of those contrary thoughts, it will keep you derailed from the main reasons why you started your journey in DevOps. So keep yourself alive, doing the projects, applying for the roles, taking practice interviews, and doing all the tips which I've shared in this video, because that is the only way which you can keep yourself motivated until you get yourself your right job. Once again, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the channel subscription button and get access to other videos and resources which I share to help make your DevOps and cloud computing journey smooth. See you in the next video.